Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is Jarrod Alberich, the yard sale artist here. We're going to do another book page sketch this evening. I hope everybody's having a great Friday evening. It's going to lead them into a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Tonight's sketch is on a page from this fantastic 4 novel called Doomgate by Jeffrey Lang. I have a commission request for a Dr. Doom sketch. Not the first Dr. Doom sketch I've ever done on a page from Doomgate. This is probably the second or third one. And I've finally got a design that I really like. So I'll be putting it on here. As you can tell, I've already got some pencil sketch layouts going on it. And now it's time to do what we always do. We're going to drop some ink work, then some color work. And then we should just about have it the way we want it. I hope everybody's just doing great this evening. Hail Doom to you, Noah the Hyper Potato in the chat. It's always nice to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Tell me what's new and exciting, and anybody who stops by is always welcome into the chat. I try to answer as many questions as I can. We chat about all kinds of stuff. It's fun times. Welcome, Rick Heineken, to the show. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Always nice to see you. I can't wait to hear what trivia question you have for me tonight. I just assume there is one at this point. At this point, I've been shot almost as many times as Jeff has. So we're just going to lay down some ink work. Rick, we are drawing Dr. Doom on a page from this Fantastic Four novel this evening. A little commission request I got off of the Twitters. Commissions are still open if anybody's interested. These book page sketches are only $22, and that's free shipping here in the US. And as you've seen on these videos before, they only take me about 30 to 40 minutes to do. And that's why I don't charge too much for them. Because as I've said, I don't know how many times in these videos now, the key to book page sketches is actually less detail, not more detail, but to pick the right details. You want to bring it off the page. That is the challenge. So you don't get washed out by the words. And of course, we're listening to the smooth jams of Joe November. Check out his collaboration album, Beats Without Homes by Till November, T-I-L-L November, Beats Without Homes, on all your favorite music acquisition platforms. I would greatly appreciate it. And I know Joe would too. Hola, Angelica from the Facebook this evening. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by to spend a little time with me as I put down a little Dr. Doom action. Dr. Doom, definitely one of my very, very favorite villains of Marvel. I'm always just kind of a little bit flabbergasted and amazed at how Marvel still struggles to do a really solid version of Doom in the films. Now, if you like the Doom films, that's fine. I mean, I don't dislike the way Doom has been done in the films, but I still think they haven't quite nailed it yet. And the secret that I've come up with is basically Doom is 1 part Tony Stark, 1 part Doctor Strange. You do that, you got yourself a mighty fine little Doom action going there. But I like Doom because sometimes a lot of what Doom says actually makes sense, you know? He's not the nicest guy. And sometimes his plan is actually better than Reed's. GLHC wants to know if this is Dr. Doom or a Dr. Doom android, aka a Doombot. I actually know the answer to that, but I can't reveal it due to some binding contract non-disclosure agreements I have with Latveria. So I cannot comment on that. This design that I used for doing the book page sketches is very simple yet complex at the same time. That made no sense, I know, but it's a basic design, but there's a lot of layers to it. A lot of long sweeping lines, which always makes me nervous. And I should have planned a little better tonight because I'm definitely going to need my circle template. So where did the circle template get to is the question. You might get to watch a 45-minute stream of Jarrod looking for his circle template. Shouldn't be too hard to find, as it is a bright green. But as with most things in my life, harder than it should be. Let's see here. Circle template. Where'd you go? And of course, I knocked my marker off the table. I should really just make this like a Mr. Bean episode where everything that can goes wrong does. Let's see. Circle template. Where's it at? I'm going to ask Rick Heineken what he did with my circle template. I'm pretty sure it's in my giant stack over here. I got to move my wireless keyboard. Too much stuff. I need to get organized. Too much art laying around. Let's see here. Again, it's bright green, so you'd think I would have found it by now. I'm about to just give up on it and just go freehand circle. Yep, I'm going freehand circles. I'm done searching for that. It'll turn up one day. That's right, folks. Freehand circles. I pay for the good stuff here. I'll just about look everywhere, and it's going to show up in the silliest place. I just know it. That's funny. I was just on a stream like 2 weeks ago with John Beatty, and he couldn't find his. I wonder if he took mine. That's what it is. He took mine. All right. Freehand circles it is, people. Get fired up. Okay. You got that right, Kirk. That's all right. I'm not too upset about these freehand circles. It's going to bother me. I won't be able to sleep tonight until I find the circle template, but I'll find it after the video. So I guess the posed question for tonight's video chat is, who's your favorite comic book villain? And I'm going to caveat that. You can tell me who your favorite is. And then I want to know, if you had to work for one of them, who would you want to work for? That's what I want to know tonight, people. I see getting a little thumbs up action over there on Facebook. I really appreciate it. We are broadcasting on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube tonight. So no matter how you're getting this, I appreciate you stopping by. And if you get a chance, please head over to my YouTube channel. It's easy to find. Just type in Yard Sale Artist or Jarrod Alberich, if you know how to spell Jarrod Alberich, and you will find it. And we just hit 75 subscribers, and I'm not going to complain about that, having this channel only open for, about 2 weeks now? I really appreciate everybody who's taken the time to do that. Much appreciated. Now I have to turn you into like recruiters. You have to go find new people to add. People who like to see someone draw on someone else's trash. It doesn't sound so appealing when I sell the yard sale artist that way, but that is what I kind of do. Speaking of which, I went to a yard sale this morning. You catch the occasional Friday yard sale. And I did today. And I did all right there. I got some cool stuff. I found a G.I. Joe figure that I did not have in my collection, so that was exciting to me. Because my G.I. Joe figure collection is what you might call extensive, bordering on the ridiculous. But this is the wind down that I need. I've had a busy, busy day. Any day you go to your local courthouse is a busy day. And I went to my courthouse today. I had to do some stuff in the probate office. That's the sign of a busy day when you go to the courthouse. So this is nice to just unwind on a Friday evening with you folks. Get a little Dr. Doom in. I just bet you that Noah, the Hyper Potato, knows who this drawing is for. Oh, the GLHE pitches a a Dr. Doom solo film. Not a bad idea. Now they've proven that you can make fun sort of villain films with Joker and Venom. Well, I don't know if Joker's fun. I actually haven't seen it yet, but from what I've heard, it's not exactly fun. But and Noah says Iron Major from Sergeant Rock is his favorite villain, and you would prefer to not work for him. Well, that's good. That's good. Good to know. Who else has got a favorite villain out there? And which villain would you prefer to work for? GLHC, if you want me to post pictures of my G.I. Joe figure collection, I can do. I've done it in the past, but it's been a while since I posted them. It is a hefty collection, my friend. Jonathan Schaefer Hames asks, which figure is it? And you know what, Jonathan? Here's the thing. I'm not sure. I just looked at it and said, wait, I don't have this. If I had to guess just upon kind of what he looks like, I think it might be one of the Duke figures that's modeled after Channing Tatum in a desert camo outfit. Like he's in a tans and browns. I think that is what it is off the top of my head, but I'm not sure yet. I have to find out. Do my homework. I'm not as up to speed on the Joe figures that are more, movie era and more current than that. I usually end up picking them up, bring them home, go to the always useful yojo.com to figure out who they are. Enter them into my database. Yes, I keep a spreadsheet. I feel like Ryan Daly all of a sudden. Keep a spreadsheet of all the ones I have. Thank you, Jonathan. He says the eyes look real good. Yeah, that is definitely a key to getting Dr. Doom looking nice, is to get those eyes. Kind of funny, this sort of template that I've made for Doom I looked around for model pictures on those interwebs. And this one is really a hybrid of a couple things I found and liked. I like the simplicity of one, but I didn't like the shape of the eyes. And anyway, over time, I've kind of made my own template out of it. It's nice when you get a request for a character a lot, because then you can do that. You can kind of get a template that you like and tweak it a little bit. Then it doesn't take as long because there's not as much design work involved in it. And I've been using this template that I finalized on Doom about a year now. So I think this is my third or fourth Doom, and I finally got it in a way that I like it a lot. I hope you guys do too. Oh, I missed a pop quiz. Let's see. Who sold did Dr. Doom fight Mephisto for? Not positive. I haven't read a huge amount of FF, but if I had to guess, I know that Doom embraces sort of the dark arts and magical side of things. That's why I say he's part Doctor Strange in a way, because of his mother. So I'm going to say he fought Mephisto for his mother's soul. It's funny you should say that, GL. GL asks, have you ever wondered, Destro and Cobra, Commander, and Dr. Doom have like a secret metal mask club? It's funny you should say that. Out in my building, I have a pretty big stack of metal squares. They're just a little bigger than my paper backing here. And they're tests that people who want to work aircraft sheet metal, they take this test. It's a very basic test of like plugging different holes with different metals. And it comes out really cool because it's like all these sort of crazy design metals on these sheet metal squares. And I got a whole stack of them. And for a while there, I was doing a series of Iron Man heads. I did like Iron Man, War Machine, and Iron Patriot paintings of their helmets on the metal backgrounds. And if I may say so myself, it looked really cool. And I sold a few of those. And I just really need to get back to doing them. It's one of those things where there's just so much time in the world. But the little Iron Man on a piece of sheet metal that's all sort of riveted up, man, it's kind of cool. And I was thinking I should start doing, broaden it out. Not just Iron Man, but Dr. Doom would look good on it. Sometimes you got to make stuff for the obscure collector, so maybe even like a Machine Man. Oh, I nailed it. I got the question right from Rick Heineken that he fought Mephisto for his mother's soul. Hooray for me. There's a pretty good fan film made out there on YouTube about Dr. Doom. It's like, I want to say it's like 10 minutes or something like that. I really enjoyed it. Recommend it to all of you. And no, I don't really remember what it's called. It's probably just called Doom, but I bet you if you went and looked up Dr. Doom fan film, it's going to bubble to the top because it's pretty well done. All right, I only regret not finding that circle template on one of these circles now, and it's this one right there. But I'll do a little artist trickery and hide it with some shading when I put in the color. Don't tell the client, who I suspect only Noah the Hyper Potato knows who this client is. Maybe Rick Heineken does. Let me check the chat real quick. Yeah, Rick, I think I actually suggested that Doom film to the Fan Films Friday podcast when I was on, and I don't think he knew about it but I told him, hey, it's definitely worth looking into. If he chooses to do it, I'd be more than happy to return as a guest to discuss it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a podcast called Fan Film Fridays. It's on the Longbox Crusade Network by Clinton Robinson. And he, about twice a month, I'd say, does a release on a Friday where he has a guest on and they talk about fan films, fan-made films on the internet. And there's surprisingly a good number of them that are good and enjoyable. John Haim says Doom on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes is the best Doom. I don't know if I've seen that one, but it sounds cool, man. You know, John, you and I tend to like a lot of the same kind of pop culture things, so I am willing to take your word for it. Again, it's nice chatting with everybody. We're on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. So no matter how you're getting here, I appreciate you stopping by. Say hello in the chat if you get a moment. If you really want to help me out, head on over to that YouTube's place and give me a subscription over there. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you would like this video, just give it the old thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Just trying to build a nice little audience of people that like to watch me draw on busted books. And I released one video of a yard sale painting that I did, and I'm looking forward to doing some more. Those just take a lot longer, so I'm imagining maybe a maximum of 2 videos a month, probably more like 1, because paintings take me much longer to do. But people tend to like that, to kind of see what I find at yard sales and then what I turn it into. So I'm going to try to sort of provide some more behind the scenes on what that looks like on the channel. So if you're into that or know anybody who is, please send them my way. There's one video up already. Like I said, it's the first video. I did a Legend of Zelda piece on a cabinet door that I found at a work site for a new home build. No, I didn't steal it. It was in the dumpster. Before Gio asks. We are getting some good inks down on this. We've been going for about 23 minutes. We're getting closing in on getting the ink work down. And then I've got my trusty colors. I always try to get every color that I think I'm going to need, and I always forget one. So I guess tonight's game is going to be, what color did Jarrod forget to bring with him? And that's okay. I got my trusty markers boxes right next to me, which is probably why I can't find my circle template. I have too much stuff in here. I always like it when the blacks fill in and the drawing really starts to come together. It's almost like a magical moment to me every time. And as usual, this is where digital artists have it made. They just click fill. I wish I could just click fill. You not have to hand fill in all the blacks, but hey, sometimes it can be soothing. I see the Hyper Potatoes checking in saying they're building new homes across the street from my grandparents' house. Lots of dumpsters in the streets. I thought of you as I dumped garbage in them, allegedly. If you see anything in there that you're like, man, that would be cool if someone painted on that, you can always snap a picture and text it to me, because I know you got my number. With a Hyper Potato. I am finicky though about what I take to paint on, surprisingly, for a yard sale artist, just because I have so much. I have a bunch of things to paint on out in my building. So it has to be something that really speaks to me. We are getting there on this Doom. Again, if you're just checking in and you kind of like what you see and you think the sketching on book pages of characters from the books on pages from the books is a clever thing, and you need one in your life, you see my @ in the bottom left of the screen. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I'll be happy to share with you all the damaged books that I have in my collection that I can draw pages on, and there's quite a few now. So I've been doing this for a couple of years, so that collection's really started to get pretty big of good, useful books to draw characters on. And I've got a fair amount of people on my commissions list right now, but I'm able to get through them pretty fast. I can do 1 to 2 a day with pretty easily. So if you're interested, let me know. If you're live in the chat, you can start asking me if I have this book or that book or something for this character, and I could probably tell you off the top of my head. Just to answer my own question from earlier, I think one of my very favorite comic book villains is probably Lex Luthor. I mean, you got to respect the guy who can consistently go up against the Man of Steel with no powers other than his wits. I mean, he doesn't win a lot, or ever, but he takes the shots, man. And then as far as a villain, if I had to work for one, might be Doom. Because, I mean, as long as you play it straight with him and you're loyal to him, you're pretty well taken care of. Doesn't strike me as one of those villains that would just off somebody just to off them because he's having a bad day. I want the eyes to match a little more. I need to trim that down. Not bad. I'll take it. All right. I do believe we're ready to move into the color phase. After I see a couple of just a little... Oh, I missed 2 circles. Uh-oh. So apparently I just got a memo of a upcoming Zumba class. It doesn't mean a lot to me, but I suspect it's for my wife. All right, back to getting some of these errant pencil lines from my sketch, my under sketch. Cool. Oh, and I want to add just a little shading detail to the nose. Not too shabby. All right. Let's get in there with some green. I'm going to use, remember, you always go light to dark, put all the light before you put your shadow on. So I'm going to use grass green from Prismacolor as my base for the hood. Grass green, they say. And then I've got a darker green that I'll come back with to add shading. Let's see. I'm going to check the chat real quick before I get too carried away on the screen. Have you ever had anyone ask you for the whole book? Asked GLHG. Actually, yes. And that was just last week. a guy I do a lot of work with and for. He actually was really interested in if he could have my busted copy of Stephen King's Gunslinger, the first novel, which I think was just called The Gunslinger, or was it just the Dark? No, it was Gunslinger was the first one. And the last one was called Dark Tower. Anyway, the first one of that series. I have a busted version of that, and he actually asked for it because he does some bookbinding, and I think he was interested in if there was enough, salvageable pieces of the book. If it wasn't miss anything, it was just a matter of unbinding. He was considering rebinding the whole thing. So that has happened. He hasn't. I told him, I was like, well, I prefer to draw pages on it, but if it meant that much to him, I was willing to part with it. It's not like I won't find another one. When you yard sale as much as I do, you'll find them. They will show up. All right. So grass green from Prismacolor is the base green. The shaded green is simply called dark green from Prismacolor. Brian Green asks in the chat, have you drawn Thanos before? Thanos. Thinking, processing. I don't think I ever have. I nothing springs to mind. There's a good chance that at my convention appearances, I do 3-minute sketches on little sketch cards for the kids. And I want to say, the more I think about it, I had a kid in Columbus, Georgia last year ask me for a Thanos 3-minute sketch. So I've done a 3-minute sketch, so it's not the world's best work. I think that's the only Thanos I've done. I don't think I have the best book to draw him on. I've got a Captain America novel that I don't think it's directly tied into the Thanos storyline, but it is from the cinematic universe time frame. So if I was going to do a Thanos, I'd probably do it on that, which hurts my OCD a little because, as you all know, I like to, if I can, make sure that the character I'm drawing is mentioned on the page that I'm drawing on. So I can see Von Doom right there, and I think it's up here in an area that I blacked out, but at least I can read one on his cheek. Just my weird OCD. Just again with some dark shadow work using a darker green marker than the one I put down for the base. Gives it that extra layered look. Then we're going to get into the metallic of the face, and that's where the real fun begins. I like a real striking blue for his eyes. I think I've done one where I went red on his eyes just to make him look really evil. But in the end, I really like a striking blue. And I'm using Copenhagen blue. I saw something I wanted to tweak when I was coloring. Oh, it's the pupils. I'm going to add black to the pupils. There we go. Much like we did with the hood, we're going to start with a light gray and then use a medium gray for the mask. Let's see what I got here. I'm going to use warm gray. I'm going to use a warm gray 20% for the base, and then I'll come back with shadow with warm gray 50%. And the first thing I'm going to do is there's a couple areas that I want to leave white. I'm going to block them off essentially. It'll really give a nice effect when it's all said and done. Just those little sort of streaks of white there. Just going to dab in each circle because usually that leaves just a little spot of white. And again, that'll kind of make it look like it's catching the light. Just gives it a little more character instead of filling in the whole circle to just a little dab in. Color in about 80 or 90% of the circle. Give it a little more character. Let's see here. All right. Still using the 20%. GLHG asks, what's the longest you ever took on a commission and what was it? Let me calculate that in my head real quick. On a commission, see, if it wasn't a commission, it would probably be a painting. What was it? I did a joke. Okay, yep, it was a painting and it was a commission. I remember now. I did a Joker painting. The client requested basically a recreation of the Brian Boland from The Killing Joke, where he's got his hands in his hair and he's laughing maniacally. I had a client ask me for that, and that took a while. Just because, I mean, if you're gonna emulate Boland, you got to come correct, basically. I don't want to. I won't mince words. I don't want to half-ass if I'm emulating Boland. I want to go all in and make sure it looks right. And I spent a fair amount of time on the background. I was really proud of the background and how it came out. It looks a little almost simple, but if you knew the time and effort I put into it. Yeah, so anyway, and the total time I spent on it was probably end to end, all said and done, about 12 hours. But I didn't do it all at once. I can't, because you put down a certain amount of paint. And once you get to the point where you're basically dragging your arm through it, it gets very frustrating. You're messing up things. So you got to walk away from it for a little bit and let it sit, dry. Which is, I think that's good, though, that you step away from it, because you come back with it with a fresher eye. You spend too much time on it, and the painting starts to own you a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. What up, Genome? Now I'm coming in with the shading gray. I'm still using warm gray. The baseline was 20%. I'm bringing in a 50% warm gray just to add some shading to it. under the eyes. There we go. A little shading here and there. Almost got this one, folks. Gotta put that dark shade in there so it gets that, I don't know, that doom metallic hollow chic. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying. I was going to say that this is why I'm an artist, not a writer, but then I remembered I've written 3 comic books. Oh, I take that back. 4. Very much looking forward to one that should be coming out later this year. I'll be telling you guys more about that for sure. Very excited for that project. Got to work with some really, really great people. All right, Dr. Doom has just about got it. I do like it. I do like it. I think I'm going to let this one just be. I don't see anything. Okay, I lied. I'm going to put a little, where's that 50%? A little bit of shading right under some of these rivets. So I think it'll give it a little character. Plus, I know how much you guys enjoy watching me just do little quick dark grays that probably nobody cares about but me. Genome says that I'm up 77 subs. I'm going to be 100 in the next month. I believe it. Thank you, Genome. I appreciate it. And GLHC's asking for hints about that project I'm working on. It's for like a real publisher. Not a huge name publisher, but a solid, revered publisher. It'll be available in comic stores, especially if you ask your comic store to carry it. And once I'm able to release that information, trust me, I'll be telling you all about it so you can get your comic shop to carry it. And it's just working with some of the best people on the planet. And I'll just leave it at that. I actually don't even know if we may be allowed to talk about it, but I don't want to jeopardize anything. I just want it to be great, and I know it will be. So, but anyway, as we move towards the fall, GL, there will be more news to follow. I think I'm pleased with this one. I hope the client is pleased with this one. I'm going to sign it. Yes. Good. I'll take it. I will never reveal it, GLE. Well, I will reveal it, but later I will reveal it. I promise you. All right. I think I'm pleased with this one. This one's going to go in a nice carded, sealable envelope, and it's going to get mailed off to the client. Actually, the client asked for 2. This is the first of 2. I will do the second one either tonight before I go to bed or maybe on a live stream tomorrow. Who knows? I want to thank everybody who stopped by. As per usual, I've been Jarrod Alberich, the Yard Sale Artist. If you're interested in my wares, you can go to theyardsaleartist.com. If you like the music you're hearing, this is by Joe November, good friend of mine. Please check out his album Beats Without Homes. Technically, it's by Till November, T-I-L-L November, because it's a collaboration album between him and MC Till. Please check that out. Again, that's Beats Without Homes. I can't help myself, people. I've gone to the white marker I want to put just a little bit of reflection on both of his eyes with the white marker. I couldn't help myself. I had to do one more thing. Looks better now. You probably can't even see it on the screen. I put a little white dots in there so it get a little bit of reflective look. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, Chola. I appreciate the positive feedback. Again, stay tuned to this channel. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to it, especially on YouTube. That's huge for me. Click the bell so you get notifications when these pop up, and just stop in and say hi. Half the fun of doing this, the reason I do it on live stream, sure, it's good advertising, but I love hitting you guys up in the chat. I love talking with you guys. It gives me something to do while I draw. It's more interactive. It's more fun for me. So I appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.